Okay, we're real happy for Sam. We're glad she's having a great time, and we can't wait for her to get back and report it herself because we think it's cold, and she's going to give us the real weather report for her week on the trip. Now, that being said, she'll be back next week. Look forward to that. Continue a safe trip and get home soon. Lonnie, you're doing a good job. I know every time you think I say she's, on her way home, that there's an underlying meaning, okay? That being said, let me say something. I have not said, I'm your host, BKP. I've not said anything. You've not heard me say anything about this. This will be a first. And I'm really not going to go into detail, but I do think it's something I need somebody out there, okay? I'm deferring to you. I don't know everything. Damn it, I try. I'm deferring to you. I really am. I need somebody out there to work with me, help our viewers. Maybe you know it. Maybe you can get in touch with me. Cryptocurrency. Now, I've read several articles and I've studied. I just can't completely get my head around the cryptocurrency, but you better pay attention to it. Now, look this up for me. Is his name Peter Thiel? He's the founder of PayPal. See if that's who he is. Lottie, tell me if that's who I got the right guy. Peter Thiel, founder of PayPal, actually an original stockholder or founder also in Microsoft. Not Microsoft, Facebook.
And founded Palantir Technologies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Peter Thiel?
It's Thiel. I think it's pronounced Thiel, yeah.
Okay. And PayPal. He just bought another, or I don't know if it's the second time. He just bought in another, and he is a Silicon Valley guy, part founder of Facebook, PayPal. See, when he was with PayPal and he, the transfer of payments, that became very big. Being able to directly pay for things, but you still needed a bank account, all right? Now, I don't want to go too deep because I thoroughly don't understand, but this guy just sunk $20 million, just bought another $20 million of Bitcoin, okay? And he just sunk another $20 million in Bitcoin. I'm just telling you, you got to pay attention to cryptocurrency. I will tell you, the feds are watching it. All the major brokerage houses are watching this. All of the major banks are watching this. They're watching this all the way around the world because without going too far, you set up your own bank. You don't need a bank anymore. You are your bank. I mean, you don't need it. If this happens the way I think it might happen, you don't need a bank. You just pay each other. So watch for the government to get involved. Watch the feds, what they do with it. And watch what happens at all the trading houses, this year. Cryptocurrency, better pay attention. Now, we know the President of the United States, Donald Trump. I got a couple things I want to go through that maybe are not talked about every day. Donald Trump has called out the deep state, okay? He called out the deep state and he said it's time, okay? It's time for the Department of Justice to do something about Huma Abedin, the deep state, Comey, and the others, all right? So Donald Trump has put Eric's picture up. Okay, you remember this guy? This is former Attorney General Eric Holder, all right? And Donald Trump has put, all right, he's put Jeff Sessions on notice. It's time for something to be done. All right, it's time to do something now. But what does Eric Holder come out and do? Justice leaders should push back at Trump. Okay? Eric Holder says justice leaders should put back. Former Attorney General for Obama, Eric Holder says Justice Department leaders should push back against President Trump, who contends he has an absolute right to run the nation's law and order agency. Holder called Trump's statement dangerous and irresponsible, adding that it flies in the face of American history. It flies in the face of the why in which every American president, Republican or Democrat, has viewed the Justice Department. Holder told several reporters in a Senate hallway shortly after he watched Senator Doug Jones from Alabama get sworn in. It is dangerous and irresponsible. Now, they keep saying that this is dangerous, and what Trump is doing is going after his political opponents. And this is why Holder is helping out here, because it's a Justice Department he does not want you to see behind the veil. We need to dig into the deep state of the Justice Department, the FBI, and we need to go deep ourselves after all these people. Eric Holder doesn't want you to do that. He is saying push back. Push back. It's irresponsible. All you keep hearing is Donald Trump going after his political opponent, Hillary Clinton. And we don't do that in America. That's like that's like those communist countries. That's like those third world countries. I mean, those are dictators, all right, that go after their political opponent. We're not just going after any political opponent. We are going after a world-class criminal. Quit calling Hillary Clinton a political opponent, all right? We are actually going after a world-class, all over the world, criminal. A criminal crime syndicate is what we're doing. So every day, be careful when you hear, well, Trump's rhetoric and Trump saying this. We don't go after our political opponents. Look, Hillary Clinton was not a political opponent. Bill Clinton and Hillary should have been jailed all the way back from Arkansas. All right? This woman should have been in jail while she was senator in New York. She should have been in jail while she was Secretary of State. She should have been the first lady ever put in prison. Not a political opponent. We don't do that in this country. No, let me tell you what we don't do in this country. We do not implement law and order in this country. That's what we don't do. It's not going after a political opponent. Eric Holder says he should push back, okay? Push back. The Justice Department. Talking about Steve Bannon earlier, and we will look further into that in just a minute. A little further, Steve Bannon. They're going to push. It's a field day for the left, but Manafort, put up Paul Manafort. Okay, Manafort's only job with the Trump campaign, only job was to get the delegates together. We have gone over that. To get the delegates together, that's it at the convention. Manafort has had success going to conventions, getting the delegates, going from room to room, counting the delegates, working the delegates, and making sure the delegates voted for the right candidate, which would be Donald Trump. That was his experience. That was the extent of what he was called on to do, and that's what he did. Paul Manafort sues Mueller and Justice Department. He sues them. This is coming out. President Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, has filed a lawsuit challenging the authority of special counsel Robert Mueller. In a court filing, lawyers for Manafort argued that the order establishing Mueller's investigation is overly broad and not permitted under Justice Department regulations. They said the special counsel's actions are arbitrarily capricious and not in accordance with the law, and have asked the district court to set aside all actions that Mueller has taken against Manafort. So Manafort has filed has filed a lawsuit. Paul Manafort against Mueller. Where does this all go? I'm not for sure. I can't tell you. I want to see what the reaction is. Gateway Pundit, President Trump on Bannon when he was fired. He has not only lost his job, he lost his mind. The Paul Manafort is suing over dirty cop Robert Mueller, Department of Justice, and Rod Rosenstein. That's out there today. That's being talked about. So at Breitbart, how are they handling the news? Because, I like Steve Bannon, but he's not Andrew Breitbart, okay? He's not. Go ahead and take Paul down there. He's not Andrew Breitbart. Trump furious. Bannon not only lost his job, he lost his mind, okay? So Breitbart has it up there. We're going to find out what. I want to know from you, what does all of this mean with Bannon and Trump? What is really taking place? What's your thought there? I want to close this segment, all right? Before I close, I want to close this segment with Friday. Don't forget, Friday, there will be a, let's go ahead and put up the sheriff. I just want to run this by you one more time. Friday, the Superior Court will hear Jeff Johnson. He is the sheriff of Dawson County. He's the sheriff of Dawson County. They will hear the case that he has brought against the commission. The Dawson County Commission put them up, and then go back to Sheriff Johnson, the Dawson County Commission, over what he claims to be an inadequate budget to operate the Dawson County Sheriff's Office. So Sheriff Johnson Friday will be in court. The commission tried to make him a deal on the budget. I explained this yesterday. If you go to fetchyournews.com, Dawson County, click on Dawson County, click on news, and look up Bill Johnson. Anything Bill Johnson. He has written an extensive series on this and has everything clear about what's going on Friday, all right, in the courtroom. But the Sheriff Jeff Johnson, the commissioners offered him a budget. He said no. And his recourse, constitutional officers, their recourse is to sue the county and say, hey, you didn't give me the adequate money. So we're going to see what happens. That's going to be a very big one come Friday that you're going to want to keep up with. And we are here. Bill Johnson will be in the courtroom, and we'll keep up with that for you. Before I go to my next break, don't forget Friday. We have we're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge, okay? Circuit World in Blue Ridge, we're there Friday. We have our Ask the Doc segment with Dr. William Whaley. We have our all-star panel, and then we're going to have an extended Team FYN Sports Weekend Review, an extended segment. If you would like to come and be a part of that panel there, the sports panel, because we're going to be talking college football. So if you like college football, you know what you're talking about. You're an Alabama fan. Let's have an Alabama fan. If you have somebody that you want to talk about, if you do not think the 4 teams should have been there and your team should have been there, if you think that Clemson should not have been there and you want to argue another team should have been, whatever, we're going to have an extended. There's going to be Rick, myself, Jason, Lonnie, come and join us. We're going to have an extended Team FYN Sports Weekend Review, and then we will round out the show with our Star of the Week, the Pet of the Week from the Humane Society. Also, go to fetchyournews.com, and when we start in 2018, go to the top there, all the tabs of the county. We cover White County, Lumpkin County, Dawson County, Pickens County, Gilmer County, Fannin County, Union County, Towns County, Cherokee County, North Carolina, and Murray County, Georgia. Check out all of our counties. Click on them. Click on the news tabs. Check out Natalie's article about the mysterious boom in Fannin County. And yes, Friday, let's show them one more time before we leave for break and set up our next segment. Friday, there will be a meet and greet at 5, not Friday, why did I say Friday? Tuesday, I'm sorry, Lonnie. Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, the 9th, will be a meet and greet at Blue Ridge City Hall. That's at 5 o'clock. Meet the candidate, not meet the candidates, meet the new council and mayor. They will be sworn, meet and greet from 5 to 6, and then at 6 o'clock, the members will be sworn in, and that'll be their first official meeting. That is Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And today, Speaker David Ralston always holds, or Georgia Speaker of the House David Ralston always holds a pre-legislative session press conference, which will be today in Atlanta. So I'm headed down there. I will be there, and you will be able to watch that press conference on FYN TV later today. We'll get that up for you. That'll be later today, but we'll find out what bills will reach the floor. We are going to extensively cover this session. There's going to be so much political posturing from from representatives running for, there's House representatives, state Senate representatives, lieutenant governor. They're running for lieutenant governors open. The governor of Georgia is open. The Secretary of State, open, you name it. So there's a lot of candidates out there in the field that are going to be doing a lot of political posturing. We're going to keep up with it. When we come back from break, we're going to have Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones is the Georgia House Rep from District 167. He's a Republican. He is on the Insurance, Interstate Cooperation, Vice Chair of Motor Vehicles, Science and Technology, and we're going to be talking about a couple bills he has sponsored and what he thinks this session will bring starting Monday. And Tuesday, it's not Tuesday. Speaker Ralston has said that Tuesday they'll be closed for business. They're going to be celebrating the national championship. So I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. When we come back from this break, Jeff Jones, Republican, District 167, and we're going to be talking Georgia politics for the next 20, 25 minutes. So right after these messages, Lonnie, take us a break.